We are live. Yes, welcome back to another fantastic episode. I already jumbled my words. We're 2 seconds into this. I jumbled my words. Should I restart the episode? Yes, I should. Am I going to restart the episode? No, I won't. It's fantastic. I wanted to.
Now it's great.
Now it's great. We've already dropped down a notch. We have got Danny Mabley back on the podcast.
Heyo.
Danny, how are you doing, buddy? I am very excited. Thank you for coming back on. I am fumbling off the starting block, so I'm glad you're here to help pick up some slack. We are doing our monthly... weekly. We're doing a monthly... Bro,
Tag me in. Tag me in.
You're in. Tagged. You're in. Help me out. What are we doing here?
We are on. I mean, you could call it month 1. You could call it month 2, depending on it's the second episode. We're 1 month technically in because the first episode would have been a start of the month, but then we kind of went over the month previous to that. So you know what? You can go 1 or 2, whatever. We'll call it 2 to fit the actual episode number. So check-in number 2. Month 2 of the weight loss check-in with your boys, with your fatty daddies, Tony and Danny.
Your fatty daddies. That name never gets old. It always makes me laugh. You gave us that name while we were just spitballing during the last episode, and we were look at what Danny Mabley's drinking out of.
What?
Unbelievable.
What, the blender bottle?
I know, I
love
first
this
of all,
blender bottle brand honestly is fantastic. They're
so stupid.
Same brand for 10 years, and just quality is good.
Yeah. You know damn well I'm talking about BPN. You're rocking the Go One More blender bottle. My man finally got a respectable drinking carriage.
We'll see what comes next time.
I meant to say canister, but I said carriage.
We'll see what I use next month.
Good. You're good. Yeah, I would love for you to have a new water bottle every time that we talk. If you missed the first episode, we're doing inside jokes already, all right? So you really got to stay up on this. You really got to become a part of the familia. And if you don't even know what the familia is, that means you've never made it to the end of a Focus Fight Finish podcast. Hey, Danny, could you be louder? Could you be louder with your empty bottles?
For those that are listening.
I'm just wondering.
I was trying to kick the bottle up into my hands and catch it so I could be like, hey, look at the bottle. But it didn't work. I'm not that athletic currently. So
kick the empty water bottle.
Sorry for headphone users.
Sorry, I love that. That's one of my favorite Canadian words. Sorry. All my favorite Canadians say sorry, and it's great. I love it.
Hey, can we take a photo?
Do you want to what?
Take a photo?
What did you say?
Photo.
Take a photo? Oh, a photo. Yeah. All right, so we're going to talk about our weight loss this last month. We've been going at it. We're going to do some. We're going to be talking about our weight loss, our updates in our journeys, how you and I are both doing, positive, negative, the ups, the downs, the pretty, the dirty, all of the inside of what a weight loss journeys are like. So we're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about, we're going to do a Q&A. We've got a lot of questions from last week, or from last month, rather. And we're going to go over all that. So I'm pretty pumped, man. Should be a fun-filled episode. So who wants to go first? Do you want to go first? Or you want me to go first as far as the weight loss update?
Last month, so I feel like
how do you remember that? I cannot believe
because you spoke for 45 minutes. No.
Hey man, listen.
Hey,
I'm a talker. And I'll just start if I just start going, all right? And we'll just go down a tangent. All right, Danny, how was your weight loss last month? How are you doing? Where are you at? How are you feeling?
All right, so last month was a little crazy. So I'm actually up 3 pounds. But when I kind of tell the month as a whole, it's a little bit of excuses, a little bit of reality. Could have done better, yes. Or could I have done better, yes. Did I? Not specifically, but here we go. So week one, Tony, you wouldn't know this. My daughter got really sick one night, and we had no idea what was going on, and so we ended up basically going to the hospital about 5:30 in the morning. We're there till about 6 o'clock the next day, and long story short, she has some kids. It's pretty normal in kids for them to have some digestion issues as far as like regular bowel movements go. So she was not having regular bowel movements, and it got all backed up, and she got sick because of it. And so we have been trying everything to fix it, but unfortunately, it's just been like a constant battle since she was 6 months old. We've done every diet change, we've done every supplement and natural product, we've done pretty much everything, and it looks like we finally found something that has been working a little bit. So the last kind of month or so has been much better. But because of that, man, it was like one of the worst days of my life as a father yet. Just seeing your kid uncomfortable, in pain, to the point of like exhaustion and passing out because of how uncomfortable she was and how much pain she was in. It was really hard for me. And so I definitely had some anxious eating. The weird thing was I didn't eat for like until 6 that day because we were just at the hospital. And we weren't, you don't even think about food when your child's like, sick. But then finally she kind of, she slept for a little bit for the first time. And I was like, okay, well, I'm starving now, so I better go get some food. Went and just kind of got whatever was close and quick and easy. And of course, when I do have those things that are close, quick and easy, like a hamburger or cheeseburger or whatever, it's just like, it's like as soon as I have it once in a day, if it's not towards the end of the day, that's when I found that if I'm going to have a meal like that, it's the best to have it towards the end of the day because then I'm going to bed and I don't have to worry about it. If I have it to like kind of start my meals for the day, man, it's so hard to make good decisions for the rest of the day. And so
Right.
between that and then her family coming to visit to make sure everything was all right, and like we just kind of got whatever food was available, and so we just didn't eat the best. I tried to make the best choices possible, but it definitely was difficult. And so for about that week and the next week, it was kind of just up and down. And then I actually went to Canada for the first time in 2.5 years. I went back to Canada so I could get my vehicle that is there, my car. It has been there for 2.5 years. I've been paying for it monthly, and I was like, I need a vehicle to a reliable one that I can use on a regular basis. So I flew back to Canada, and I haven't been back to Canada, like I said, in 2 years. So there's food that we have in Canada that we don't have here. So I just ate. Like that's like the best
Yeah.
way to put it. It's like I made the choice of like, you know what, I'm here for a few days. I'm gonna there's a bunch of stuff that I want to have that I haven't had in 2 years and I won't be able to have. And
What
so
What is that food? Like, what is something that's like
so Triple
Canada
O's and
specific?
A&W are both like burgers places. And then there was like
We got A&Ws out here.
not even close to the same. Not even close to the same. It's like
Whoa.
it's like a completely different restaurant. In Canada,
Really?
it's super like grass-fed meat, like really organic, like no hormone, like all that stuff.
A&W?
Yeah, dude, it's really good.
Okay. All right.
Um,
All right. All
and
right.
and so I did that, and then there was a Korean restaurant that I went to. Yeah, I basically just like ate at the few restaurants I used to eat at when I used to live there, and yeah, so that just of course, when I was there, I came home, put on some weight, but then I've been back at it fully this week, and I'm only up 3 pounds as of this morning. So, for kind of 3 weeks of being just kind of go with whatever happens, and only being up 3 pounds to me is honestly kind of a win. Like, could have been a lot worse. Like, I can gain 10 pounds in 3 weeks. Like, you probably have been there. Like, it's
Bro,
easy to put it's
easy.
easy to put on weight.
Easy. That's light work. You give me 3 weeks, 3 weeks of saying like, screw it. Well, I'll go. I'll put on mass.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
like,
So that
I said,
is really good.
Not the best 3 weeks, but at the same time, with having this week of just being kind of back on, 3 weeks off, 1 week on, only being up 3 pounds, I'm pretty happy with that because realistically, I gained a pound a week, and I know in a healthy range of weight loss, I can lose up to 2 to 3 pounds a week. So like 2 more weeks, and I'll already be like at a new low than I already was. So I'm not too worried about it. Looking back, could I have made better choices? Absolutely. But I'm feeling in a pretty good spot, seeing that like I definitely, like I said, could have put on one more weight, and kind of going through the things that we did go through with Maple and everything. Yeah, could have been worse, could have been better, But I'm happy with where we're at, and I'm definitely feeling more motivated to finally get home and back into a routine. And I recently discovered a protein overnight oats recipe that is so freaking good, bro. So good. Like it's
I
my new
saw you
favorite
just
food.
discovered
Like
overnight oats.
I,
Yeah.
dude, no, like so I don't like oatmeal, and I kind of, for some reason in the morning I just don't really want like hot stuff. Like I don't like hot coffee. I always
Right.
drink iced coffee. I mean, I'll have like eggs and stuff. So that's hot, but like just hot oatmeal. It's just like I don't know. Just never was good to me. I just didn't like it. Way more of like a cold cereal guy. So I had known that overnight oats was a thing for like probably a year and a half now, but I just never thought to
Yeah.
make it. And so I bought actually some like pre-made ones, like just a little container you fill up with water, put in your fridge, and then it's like ready to go for the next day. And I was like, damn, this is good.
Right.
Like, but it's like $4 a container. So I'm gonna make my own. So yeah, I can maybe once you upload this video, I'll post the link in the YouTube comments of the recipe that I used. But basically, it's just like protein, oats, almond milk, some little bit of honey or vanilla extract if you want some extra little sweetness, which only adds a little bit, and then plain non-fat Greek yogurt, and mix that all up. Add some like chopped almonds and blueberries or strawberries the next day, and freaking you got some healthy fats, you got some micronutrients, you got some good carbs, and you got some protein. Man, I love it. It's like my go-to. It's ready in the morning. I just wake up and freaking pop it out of the fridge. It's like my favorite thing. So I'm stoked to have found something that's like super easy and for breakfast or for breakfast in the morning that isn't like the same old egg white turkey bacon like toast thing that I always used to do. Now that I can kind of mix those up as something having a savory option as well as a sweet option. And of course, I find with oats, like you can add a little bit of salt and it kind of gives it that savory aspect. And I'm much more of a savory guy than a sweet guy. So yeah, I just found a food that like fits my goals and I enjoy. And yeah, so I'm feeling good.
Well, good, man. That's great. I can't get down. I am not. It's something about the texture of overnight oats. Ugh. I love oatmeal. I eat oatmeal almost every single day, but I cannot do the overnight oats. My oatmeal almost never changes. It's like it is the only thing that changes in my oatmeal is the protein flavor. It's usually just oats, chia seeds, PB Fit,
chia seeds, yep,
and honey, and that's it, and my protein. But yeah, and I make it with water because I can't take, like, the difference between using water and cream to me is so minimal, and the calories are obviously so much lower with just using water. I just use a half cup of oats, cup of water, and that's it.
Nice.
Easy. 3 minutes in the microwave, done. So yeah, man. Okay, well, good. I mean, look, this is the whole point of sharing this, and this is the whole point of us putting our weight loss journey out there. Is it's not always going to be like, oh, this week I'm down 5 pounds, now I'm down 2 pounds, now I'm down 8 pounds, that's not like a realistic weight loss journey. There's going to be months where you gain weight, and that's just the reality of it, so if for anyone else listening out there, obviously Danny and I have both had a lot of success in weight loss. So if we struggle and we have, up months, then, you're going to as well. Like, that's just the way it goes.
Sorry for the leaf blower outside my house right now.
That is your fault. I wish you would have checked with all of your neighbors, your neighborhood gardeners to try to plan around this podcast, but it's fine. If this is a low priority for you,
put up some
fine.
flyers. I didn't put up flyers. I didn't put up flyers.
You didn't put up flyers.
Rookie
no
mistake.
flyers.
Rookie mistake.
It is. Every week Joe Rogan is running around his neighborhood putting up signs. Hey guys, I'm recording a little podcast.
I don't think he has to.
His compound is probably so big that
I think his podcast room's like in a bunker.
Probably. Okay. So yeah, I think another point, a good takeaway is 3 pounds is not that much, right? Like especially for us, like when we can gain quick We can gain so quick, and not just water weight, like gain actual, weight.
Yeah, you think it's
on our bodies. Like it just. Yeah. That's what I like to say. I gained about 40 pounds of water weight back. It's fine. It's just water. Yeah, it happens very quickly. And so, it could have been a lot worse. But like worse, meaning like it's not even a bad thing. Like you went through an anxiety-ridden month. When your kids are sick, forget about it.
Bruh.
When your kid is sick, there is no other priority that even comes close other than making sure that they are better, that they have everything they need, that they have the right medication, that they're going to the right doctors. I mean, like whatever needs to be done for your kid when they are sick and they are like you feel hopeless. Mm-hmm. We had COVID last week or a week and a half ago now. We all had COVID, which means Ryder had COVID. Olive had COVID. She's 4 months old. He is almost 4. So seeing him having a cough and a fever and being like super fatigued, like it was very anxiety ridden. Like I was very scared, and I'm just so glad that I also had COVID. So my appetite was gone. Like I didn't want to eat anything. I felt terrible but if I didn't, man, let me tell you, I would have been absolutely emotionally eating, but yeah, when your kid's sick, there's just no other priority that even comes close. I mean, I think obviously the goal over time is for us to be able to handle the things that life throws at us and handle it without needing to fall back on that crutch that is food. But that's so much harder, so much easier said than done.
Yeah.
Do you think that that's ever going to happen for us?
I mean, to the point where it's like a normal level, maybe not. But even like people who don't struggle with their weight still have times where they're like, man, I don't feel like crap. I'm going to have some ice cream. Oh, I'm going to have some pizza. It's not exclusively a feeling or emotion and action that we do as people who struggle with our weight. It's just amplified. And the amount of calories that we can intake is amplified. That's what I was having a conversation with a friend recently, and we kind of talked about that, how like he's like a skinnier guy, and he was like, yeah, when I have like a bad day, like I'll order a pizza. I'm like, yeah, but I'll order pizza like and wings and then like finish it off with ice cream. You know what I mean? And he's like, oh yeah, like I just do the pizza, and then usually I'll only do half the pizza, then I'll have half the pizza the next day. I'm like, yeah. That's where
What's
we're
that like?
You
Rookie.
call it at 4 slices. I call it at eight wings and an ice cream. Like that's the difference here.
Yeah. Can you breathe after you're done? Oh yeah. So you got way more space then. If you're still able to breathe, come on.
You're doing other things? I was kidding. Yeah. So just the amount that it affects us on a calorie intake level and emotional level, I think ends up just being a much more vicious circle, just because it's just, everything's just amplified. And if everything's amplified, that means our reaction and our emotion and our feeling of shame, our feeling of guilt, our feeling of like, man, like what the hell? Why is this happening? It's just amplified. And so I think what it's going to take for me personally is just knowing that like, I don't have to have so much, like, I don't know, like, and I'm almost, now that I've started to, I'm not fully Team Tony yet as far as food addiction, but I'm getting more open to the idea that I have a problem, right? And that problem, if I look at it like an addiction, there's probably some like ways of thinking that work for addicts that also could work for me. And so looking at it like that, I'm like, yeah, like, if I start to realize in the moments and like really talk to myself in like, not like a hateful way, but a positive way of like, hey man, like you don't need to add on this and this and this. Just because you're starting a diet again tomorrow, you don't have to then just go out and binge tonight. Like you can just pick it up the next day. Just keep going, like keep pushing. So that's what's kind of been helping me so far this week is just like, last night I got caught up with work and I had a cheeseburger to end the day, but it fit within what I had. And because it was the end of the day, I didn't want any more for the rest of the day because I went to bed and I woke up today and so far I've been doing great. Just had a sandwich so far. So, so I think it's just, time and working on it. And just like anything else that you struggle with, it's going to improve what that what that level of improvement is, we'll know when we know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, I will thank you for giving us that update. Appreciate you.
No worries.
I'll give you my update. I feel like physically, nutritionally, I've had a great month. Mentally, I've had a pretty rocky month. I feel like my mental battles have been a little stronger this month, and I think a lot of it has to deal with having COVID and being stuck in the house for 2 weeks, while also taking care of 2 kids. Hey, I love my kids. Love my kids. Taking care of 2 kids with COVID. Well, you also have COVID, and your wife has COVID. Oh, it's the worst. Oh, it's so hard.
Yeah.
And being stuck in the house for 2 weeks with all of us, and we're all feeling like crap, and we're just, Ryder's still in his tantrum toddler stage, and so it's like trying to be like, gentle parenting, where Meredith and I take that very seriously. We're not, hitting our kids, because we both, I got the ever living crap beat out of me, and it didn't work, and so we don't hit our kids, and so it's just like but man, it's just like when you're like you got a fever, and I had a pounding COVID headache, and Ryder's screaming at me because I played the wrong episode of Blaze and the Monster Machines, and I'm like, just stay calm, just be gentle, it's all good, everything's fine. Everything's fine. I just had a lot of mental hurdles like that. And then, personally, I just like with the body dysmorphia was just out of control this month. And I really, well, I kind of know why, and I'll get to it, but I'll give you my actual check-in. So I'm down 3 pounds, but I don't know that really means anything really, because like, I've been doing a lot of strength training, and I feel like I've changed more than that number, because I went to Old Navy the week before we got COVID, and I tried on some shorts. I had a huge win. I'm wearing size 38 shorts, which freaking I've never done that before, which I'm very excited about. It's like being in a smaller short. I mean, like you're talking about a guy who used to wear size 56 pants. So for me to be in a 38 pair of shorts, granted, they're stretchy. Okay, let's not get it twisted. They're not denim. They're not denim 38s. Okay, they're stretchy 38s. But they're 38s nonetheless. And so yeah, that feels really good. That was a big win for me. Nutritionally, I've been on pretty much on point all month. I haven't really, like, we had a cheat meal with some friends. We went to California Adventure, and I had like a steak, I know. We went out to have this like fancy dinner, by the way. Hey, let me tell you, we got ripped off. We went to California Adventure for our friend's birthday party.
I thought you said
we went to this fancy restaurant.
Like, you were like wasted or something. I was like, yeah, tell the world, it's fine.
No, I got ripped off, dude. We ended up spending so much money, and this food was not good. Okay, it was not good food, and we had to spend. But just because it was at Disneyland, it cost an exorbitant amount of money, and it's a nice restaurant at Disneyland. And I'm eating my steak. That's
how I feel whenever I go to Panera.
It sucks.
Panera to me is that restaurant.
Oh,
went to Panera with Maple and Morgan.
Absolutely,
I spent $60 on Panera just to have like a meal each.
Someone said Panera is overpriced hospital food.
I read the same thing.
And it absolutely is.
It's so true.
Yes, it absolutely is. Dude, and I worked there for 6 years.
It's the one thing I judge him the most.
John likes Panera?
It's just like one of his favorite go-to restaurants.
Oh.
How'd you not know this?
I don't know.
He
but
says
it's like when you find out, like,
because the bread's so good.
Because the bread's so good. The sourdough bread is pretty good. I will give him that. The sourdough bread is good. But this is like when you find out your heroes like don't tip well or something, or like rude to a customer or something like that. You know what I mean? And you're like, John likes Panera? Oh. We're going to have to talk to him about this. We're gonna have to talk to him about this. We're gonna need to have oh, cool. I just, having a stroke. That's it.
Here, sorry, let me just hit the restart button on Tony. Here, Tony. Boop. There we go. Let's hit the
We're gonna have an intervention. Does not compute.
Please
Oh
reset,
my
Tony.
god, dude. Oh, dude. I feel like the COVID brain's still in there, man. The COVID brain's still in there. I'm like a freaking vampire at Sesame Street.
Dracula, remember?
Yeah.
2
8
fatty
baguettes.
daddies.
Oh, God.
I'm crying.
Two
I was like,
fatty
dude, I was
daddies.
waiting for you. And I was like, he'll figure it out. He'll get through it.
My God. I said like 18 times in a row, and there was no end in sight. I got stuck on a loop. There. Okay. All right. Okay. Panera sucks is what we're trying to say.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, I got ripped off at California Adventure. Who hasn't? I had a cheat meal, and I didn't even enjoy it. So not only did I spend more, I ate more calories than I wanted to, and I didn't even enjoy it that much. And I was the only person at the table who I could tell didn't really enjoy their food, so I didn't even get to have the like everyone else was like, "Oh wow, this is really good," and I was like, "They're like, are you enjoying your steak?"
Yeah.
And I didn't want to be that guy, so I was like, "Yeah, it's really good."
Yeah, totally.
And now they're going to watch this and know I'm a filthy liar. So cool. Good. Anyway, I have been doing a lot of strength training, so I feel stronger than I ever have before. I feel good about that, which is crazy because I feel like I'm the strongest I've ever been, and also there's something about me working as hard as I have been this last month and not seeing the scale move that is very difficult in my mind. Because I feel like when I was doing cardio, my weight loss happened much quicker. And now that I'm not doing cardio, I'm doing strength training, the weight loss doesn't happen as quick. I don't see the effects as quick, but I know my body is changing. It's just hard to accept that it's not going to happen as fast as I'd like it to. So that's where I think the mental struggles come in. And so while, yes, I did lose a little bit of weight, and I know my body's changing more than that weight, more than that number reflects, it is still difficult to accept I haven't changed more, given how strict I've been with myself, given how dedicated I've been. It's just kind of like, it's just, it's a little kind of depressing in that regard. And I know when this all kicked off. So I have a story for you. I'm a big Survivor fan. You like Survivor too.
Yeah, recently got back into it.
It's the greatest show ever made. I love it. It's my favorite show. And I applied to the show in the past. I made a video. I had a whole online application. I made a video, and it was like a few months before I completed my marathon was when I made this video. And so I just saw that their applications are open again. So I was like, oh, I should apply for Survivor again. I would love to be on the show. It's a dream of mine. And so I was like, I should... Oh, bro, I would crush it. I would crush it. I know I would. I would crush it. I'm obsessed with the show.
But you'd also be like a really good like people person, like you're.
That's the thing. I feel like I'm a good people person. I mean, I genuinely love people, and I love making connections, but also very competitive. So I have no problems making connections and then stabbing them in the back. You know what I mean? It's just going to be a fun show. It's one of the greatest shows of all time, and I want to be on it so bad. So I went to go rewatch my old video because I thought, I think I made it last year. No, I made it in 2020, right before my marathon, a few months before my marathon. And I watched the video, and your boy was trim in the video. You know what I mean? It was like at my lowest weight. And dude, when I tell you I had a breakdown, I had every intention of watching that video and then filming a new video to submit to be on the show. And I had a hardcore mental breakdown after seeing how light I was in 2020 before the marathon, how trim, how fit, how just like, I just look completely different in my opinion. And it really sucks to see, you know, I mean, weight gain, like we've talked about it before, but like weight gain is a common occurrence, especially with people like us who've lost a lot of weight. And so to see, it's one thing to talk about just the numbers, but when you see, oh, wow, I was wearing that pink shirt and that pink shirt literally does not even fit me right now. And I was wearing it in the video and it looked great on me. And it's like to see actual markers, physical markers like that was really, really difficult. And I had a freaking meltdown, man. I was just sobbing in this office by myself about my Survivor casting video, you know? And it just sucked, man. So that was a pretty low point of the month. So even though like scale wise and wearing the shorts and stuff like that and feeling strong and like all that stuff is positive, mentally it was still just a real low month. It had a low moment that in that regard was that damn Survivor video. I don't even know why I wish I didn't watch it. I'll tell you that. And now it just kind of like, you know, deflated me. I didn't record a video, and I just don't even want to
You should
anymore. It just
You should.
I know, and I know you're gonna say that. I know everyone's gonna say that, but it's like it's one thing to
it's 'cause
say
it's true,
that,
Tony.
but it's like I know. It's just, you know, I'm embarrassed.
You're definitely your own worst enemy. For the little time I've known you. Yeah, it's like to me, and I bet to like so many other people, you know, you're doing like so well, and then it's just like it seems to be the number one thing you struggle with is definitely like just with that self kind of talk and stuff. But yeah, man, like of course, you know, I'm not a therapist or someone to help you work on that. But, you know, you got a lot of love here from me and from other people. And I know it doesn't really mean a lot, but I think in those moments, it's key to remember that, you know, you're you because of the crazy choices you've made. And even though you're not maybe there anymore, you're also heck of a lot far from where you started still, you know, like,
Yeah.
you know, would you feel more upset watching that video and seeing that, or watching the video of you like when you first started? Remember those videos you were talking to me about with like you're trying to get, what was it? The other show.
I was trying to get on. I was trying to get on extreme weight loss.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I didn't know what to do, and so I was like, I tried to get on Biggest Loser. I tried to get on extreme weight loss. And with Biggest Loser, I got close. Extreme weight loss, I didn't.
So think of that guy then watching a video of you now.
Right.
And you'd almost feel that same, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think you and I talked about it before. It's like, it's one thing to go that way and to watch those videos. And like, yeah, I know 406-pound version of me would be so stoked, right, to be me today. But me today knows I was 406 pounds, but also me today knows I was 250 pounds. Mm-hmm. And that is a hard pill to swallow. I'm working on swallowing it, and I'm trying to swallow it. I'm trying to accept it and just, you know, trying to just continue and just like take a day at a time, you know, brick by brick, all the things I say to myself and all the things I say to other people. But it is, you know, it is still hard. And I struggle with taking my own advice. Mm-hmm. You know, people reach out to me all the time, and I do. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So that's my weight loss check-in. And it, you know, it's still positive. I physically feel great, especially, I will say, after having COVID and now being on the other side of it, I have like, again, another renewed sense of gratefulness for feeling healthy. because I felt so bad for a few days that I was just like, oh, I just cannot wait to feel healthy again. And now that I do, I'm definitely appreciative of feeling that way. So, there's a positive.
Imagine getting COVID at where you were at before.
Oh, dude, I would be dead. I'd be dead for sure. Getting COVID at 406 pounds, high blood pressure. I had sleep apnea, bro. Sleep apnea plus COVID. Your boy's dead. There's no way I would have survived COVID.
Yeah, that's been my number one struggle recently. I've been sleep apnea again. Freaking, it's the worst, dude.
I didn't know you had sleep apnea again.
Yeah, I've gotten heavier enough now that it came back again. Definitely have been feeling, no matter if I get 4 hours of sleep or 12 hours of sleep, it's the same shit. And it's the worst.
Yeah.
Because you just always feel tired. And so that's one of my main motivators right now, just like get rid of this weight so I can start freaking sleeping normally again. Like it's at the point where I even catch myself, like, even when I'm not sleeping, like, when you're just laying down, relaxing, and all of a sudden you'll be like, it's like, oh, like, what the heck? Because I gain a lot of my weight around my neck. So, that's right. As I gain weight around here, it starts to like fall and like, yeah, sucks.
Yeah. Yeah, that's hard, man. Sleep apnea was one of the scariest things for me. I mean, I feel like maybe a heart attack was definitely scarier. I thought I was for sure going to die of a heart attack, but I mean, sleep apnea is right up there next to it, as far as like what I was most afraid of at my heaviest. And so when my sleep apnea went away, it's life-changing to and if you don't know what sleep apnea is or you don't understand it, basically you never get into that deep sleep state. You never fully get all the way there, because before you do, your body, you stop breathing, and even though you don't actually wake up, you slowly, like, you just kind of stop breathing for about 45 seconds. Maybe you're not like snoring or something. You go and your body wakes up, so you never are able to get to that sleep. And have you ever had a sleep study done?
No. But I know.
Man, yeah, that sleep study scared the shit out of me. I got a sleep study done because my mom made me. My mom she was like, you need to get this sleep study done. So anyway, I got a sleep study done, and I woke up 400 times a night. I never physically, woke up where I'm like awake. It's just my body was having these little micro wake ups and never got that full sleep. So it's like, dude, you just feel exhausted all of the time. And I was falling asleep driving. I was so tired. Like, I almost got in a few accidents because of that. So it's like, not only is could the sleep apnea kill you in your bed, sleep apnea can kill you behind the wheel. It's just, it's the worst, man. I didn't know that was back for you. That's tough, man. I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. That's a rough one.
That's why I gotta get this together.
We'll get it, man. We'll get it. We're going to figure this thing out. One day, I'm just going to talk to myself so nicely all the time. You're not going to have sleep apnea anymore. We're going to have the best relationship with food where we're, and we're going to eat pizza like your friend and have leftovers. What are those?
What are those?
One day, we're going to figure this out.
Question time,
dude.
Or we do wins first.
We got. Well, let's do some wins. Sorry, I'm pulling up pictures on my. Because I screenshot the questions, and so I'm on my phone, and I got my kid was in the backyard playing the other day, because, like I said, COVID. So we're just finding any type of things to keep him occupied. So we're doing like hand painting in the back, and like I literally went inside for like a second. This kid had taken all the paint, dumped it on the table, painted his hands, took his pants down, and painted his ass. He had a red, purplish ass. It was covered in paint. And I walked out there, and he's like, "Dad, look, my butt's painted." And I was like, "Oh, look at that." So, of course, for Meredith and I's sake, I had to take a picture because it was the cutest thing in the world. And then we had to, clean him up. But yeah, he has a red pink
Nah,
ass.
you
so
leave
there
him
we
like
go.
that to teach him a lesson.
I mean, it was.
Now you're going to have a
adorable.
red butt for 2 weeks.
What are you gonna do? I know.
And you're not getting a bath. Joking.
I want to do a big win here. A big win shout out. Okay. I've talked about him. I believe he's talked to you maybe as well in your DMs, but Mark, I don't think I pronounced his last name the first time I talked about him. Here we go. Let's butcher his name. Mark Asidou Ofe. Now that's definitely incorrect. That's obviously incorrect because that's nobody's name. The thing I just said, that's nobody's name. But that's what I said. And I'm sorry, Mark. I'm sorry. I mean it with nothing but love and kindness. But that's not your name. But that is what I said.
I've seen you,
Dude.
boyfriend. Bro, if that is it, yeah.
Dude, if I nailed it, that'd be sick. Mark, you got to let me know. He messages me updates all the time. I love this guy. He had a goal to hit 1,000,000 steps in a month. Think about that. 1,000,000 steps, bro. That's insane. 1,000,000? And his big win is he hit it. He hit his 1,000,000 step goal. He actually exceeded it. I want to tell you first on how I did my step challenge last month. I did it. My goal was 1,000,000 and I hit 1,021,783. So my dude hit it and he cleared it by 20,000 steps. He walked 20,000 extra steps. I'm not going to walk 20,000 steps today. That's crazy, right?
Yeah,
that's insane.
How much
So
does that
yeah, I
break
had to
down
give him a
day?
big
Like
shout out.
30,000 a day? 33,000 a day? How's that even possible?
I don't know. I'm not good at math. Don't ask me questions like
Well,
that
it's like
when we're on
30
a
days.
podcast.
Yeah, so it'd be like 100
1,000,000. I don't even know how many millions are in it. How many zeros are in a million? You know, six. That's right.
6. It's definitely 6.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, 32,258 steps a day.
How, dude? How?
No
How?
thanks. He was like, he sent me updates. He was on the treadmill all day. Like he worked and then he walked and then he slept. And that's for like a month, you know? Yeah. My man is a gangster.
grind.
So great job, Mark. Asidou Ofe. Great job. Great job. That's a huge win. And we asked our community to share with us their wins of last month. So that's got to be the win of the month. Are we starting a new thing? The win of the month? I mean, 1,000,000 steps. How can you beat 1,000,000 steps?
Cue graphic.
Mark Asidou Ofe with a little
Mark.
asterisk next to his name. Yeah, he's the win of the month, bro. We also got Tess Bridges Fitness
Hey, shout out to Tess.
commenting on YouTube.
She's my
shout out to Tess.
The skinny dude I was talking about, that's her brother.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Childhood friend. My childhood friend, his sister. That's who that is.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
Which she recently redid her name on Instagram, at least. I don't know, but on YouTube. But like she changed her.
She's
username.
Tess Bridges Fitness on YouTube, and her biggest win was getting my best time for a 5K since I started running last year.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. There's nothing better than hitting your PRs when you're running, because when you're running, you know those PRs. Like, you know what your average pace is. You feel it in your body, and when you push yourself and you hit a new PR for runs, oh, it's the best feeling. So congratulations, Tess. That is awesome. And she's doing an 8K race in June. So good luck with that. What else? Oh, she also says, I'd love to see you talk about mental health. Running saved me on my weight loss journey. I was at a low period of my mental health beforehand, but now I tell people it's my therapy. I'd love to talk more about mental health, relating it to fitness and weight loss. If I ever made a video for your show, keep up the great work. Oh, because we were talking about like maybe having people send in videos, but
so she
weight
changed
loss.
her name to Run for Bipolar on Instagram because basically, she has bipolar, and I think running has helped her and kind of help her keep more of like a level head in those kind of lower times. So I think that's super cool.
Wow, I did not know that. That's really cool.
Yeah,
that is really cool.
Yeah, she recently talked about how because it was Tess Bridges Fitness, and she was like, that's why I started my weight loss journey, and now my content is kind of more different. It's more encompasses more than just simply weight loss and fitness. So I think that's super cool. I think that's a great step for a lot of people is when fitness becomes more than just kind of like a vanity. It becomes something that like is a big part of your life in a positive way. And when you can be self-aware enough to know that and to like kind of restructure the way you think about it because of that, I think it's a very positive step. One step that like all of us will eventually make or have made that really kind of takes yourself to the next level as far as mental.
Yeah. For me specifically, running, there was nothing better for my mental health than when I was running. Like, obviously I struggle with the negative self-talk and body dysmorphia and all that stuff. But that like almost all went away when I was running because I didn't care how I looked. I didn't care any of that stuff. I knew like if I had to, I could just go for 2 hours straight without stopping at a good pace. And like anyone could say whatever they wanted. I know I could do that. And that's powerful and that's sick. And it was like, having that in my back pocket felt really good, and it did wonders for my mental health. So like once I injured my foot and then wasn't able to run, that as clearly evidenced here, has hurt my mental health game for sure. I think the other thing that has helped my mental health has been meditation. Also, been completely failing at that. I don't know why I find it so hard to really nail my meditation every day. I just forget. I just put it off and I just forget it. I did it today, so that I do feel good. I feel more focused than normal. I feel better about that. But I think if I hit that on a more consistent basis, my mental health would be much better. Have you ever tried meditating?
No, we were going to do it together, and then I just never really did. Nailed it.
Okay, well, this month, let's do it. Let's do it together this month.
You see, the way that my bank account works is, my checking and my savings. If my saving joke.
I don't get it.
You've never seen Kevin Hart?
I don't. No.
Okay,
I've never seen him do that.
This is awkward. How dare you, Tony?
Oh man, dude! I was just like,
what?
You're checking it. I thought, well, because so here's the thing. Here's a joke. Here's how the joke structure typically works. There's some structure, some setup.
I was quoting. I was not telling it.
Then wham!
I was quoting.
See, I didn't know you were quoting. I thought you were
like
setting
you quoted
up
Family Guy
and you were about to
like a half an hour or 45 minutes ago when we were off air, and I was like, "What?"
That never happened. We were off air, baby. That never happened. There's no recording evidence of that.
This is a multiverse, okay? This is one universe.
Okay. Well, I'd like to skip to a universe where that moment didn't happen and that joke really hit, and it's all good.
Joke. It was a quote, but sure.
All right. Well, the way you used the quote was in a joke form. Let's do meditation this month. You and I, we're going to meditate. We're going to do it. I use Headspace.
Okay.
I like Headspace because you can track.
I think I downloaded it.
Okay. Well, there you go. Are you saying because it costs money?
You said Spacehead?
No.
Can you
It's
imagine?
Headspace.
Could you imagine though?
Space head. You're so stupid. You're so
I don't
stupid.
know what the age range on this podcast is.
Not that old. Not that old. Not space head old. All right. Okay. Not space head old.
Like, I wonder
pulled from
I wonder
YouTube.
I wonder what would come up if I Googled that instead of Headspace.
Oh my god.
Okay, mindful meditation. Oh, there's a little orange guy.
I'm telling you, I've tried a lot of meditation apps. I love Headspace the most.
Not Calm.
It's really funny
LeBron James.
because I actually really don't like Calm. I actually did voiceover work for a different meditation app. So there is a meditation app out there with my voice doing the meditation. I do voiceover work, and so I did voiceover. Like literally, it's my voice, and I'm
What app is
dude,
it
I've
on?
recorded it.
You don't want people to know.
No, I should have. No, I like it. I like the guy. I'm so invested in Headspace. I've had a membership
And you
now
don't want
for
to
3
listen to
years.
yourself when you're meditating.
And dude, I absolutely don't want to listen to myself. Are you kidding me? And I'm the only voice on the app.
Tony.
It's a good app, actually.
Tony, you can do this.
You know what? Let me
Just
actually. The guy that got me to do it, he followed my journey. His name's Sub, and he's a really good guy, and he did a great job on the app. There's nothing wrong with the app at all.
What's it called,
It's a
Tony?
good app, and it's free. It's called Mind Coach, Meditation and Focus, and I am the voice of the app. So it's literally like, you sit down, day 6. Mindfulness. Take a deep breath in. Loosen your jaw. Close your eyes and find your center. A deep breath in and a deep breath out.
Oh, it literally says you.
This is Mind Coach. Dude, I'm the guy. I'm the voice.
Days of calming anxiety. This is a session of stillness. The goal of this session is to practice stillness. Anxiety is a moving
Bro.
source in the body that requires
Bro, turn it
stillness and
off.
rest to understand and heal.
Oh my God.
I can't wait to
Well,
meditate
if
with
you
you.
if
Help
you
me
just bro, please. It's so weird. So I tried it. I was like, well, I got to support my guy, right? Like he hired me to do the job. I was like, I got to support him. Downloaded Mind Coach, meditation and focus, and then it was like 30 seconds. I'm like, no. This is so weird because it's just me.
That's peak narcissism. That's peak narcissism.
Peak narcissism, bro.
Like, bro,
Peak.
oh, you listen to your own songs? I help myself meditate. What do you mean you help?
Yeah,
As in, like,
for
I
hours
listen
at a
to my
time,
own
I
meditation
recorded.
voice acting.
I spent 2 full days recording meditations in my closet and then got it on an app. And now I listen to myself, talking myself through. No, absolutely not. But it's a great app, so you should download it. It's called Mind Coach,
Wait.
Meditation and Focus. However, I will be using
You're just, like,
Headspace
sitting there, you're
because
just like, God, this guy's so insightful. This guy's such a nice, sexy voice.
can you imagine anything creepier? Like if you found out I actually listened to myself, guide myself through meditation, bro, that is so creepy. There's no
You
way.
also Dexter
like-
people on the weekends?
Exactly. Yeah. If you find a guy who does that,
Kill him like Dexter.
there's a 98% chance he has a hidden room in his house that is covered in plastic. You can't be friends with that guy. So no, I don't listen to my own meditations, but if you want to listen to my meditations, I love my man Sub. Go download the Mind Coach meditation app on the App Store and you got me in your head talking.
When I come to visit you in a few weeks, you'll just like be showing me your house and be like, yeah, and this is this room, and I'll be like, oh, whoa, why is there so much plastic? And then I'll just turn around and you'll be like,
Oh, just come in. I'll do all the locks.
Tony?
I'm putting on
yeah,
gloves.
what's up? Please.
Hello, Danny.
Please, no.
Welcome. Okay.
What?
So that's Mind Coach. And that's you know, Silence of the Lambs. I ate a liver with a can of fava beans.
That was a golf clap for you.
Was she a great big old fat person? You know that guy? Oh, it's such a good movie. I love that movie. Silence of the Lambs. Shout out. Shout out to Silence of the Lambs. Okay?
No, you did that voice and made me think of the guy from Men in Black where he's like, "You have any sugar?"
I need more sugar in my water. More sugar in my water. Meredith and I do that to each other all the time. It's so funny that we're talking about this. Meredith and I literally, I mean it at least a few times a month. Out of nowhere, we'll just look at each other. I want more sugar in my water. It's so funny. I don't know why we do that. It's just one of the weird couple things that we do.
Dude, that character
More
is
sugar in my
I mean,
water.
If you've watched that movie, you remember that freaking character.
Oh, he's great. He's great. The Roach, he's great. That's a Man in Black is a great movie. Okay. Anyway, all right. So that's the weight loss update. Those are the wins, and now let's get to some questions here.
Yeah,
Because we got a lot of questions, and we're a flipping hour in. Oh boy. Okay, this is a good question. And it went away. Hold on. Pissed. Okay, I'm pissed. Hold on. Where did it go? Where did it
Someone gift this, make it a meme for me.
Gift what? Me? Asking where? Oh, here we go.
I was doing
all right.
this.
Oh, wow. That's some pretty impressive shoulder action, honestly.
Okay, anyways.
I got a question for you guys. This is from Gabe on YouTube.
Just Gabe?
I lost 80 pounds. Just Gabe. It's just like Madonna. I got a question for you guys. I lost 80 pounds and kept it off after 3 years, and now building muscle around 16% body fat, 33-year-old. Do you guys think not tracking your food intake after the weight loss is the main reason for gaining back the weight? If you keep weighing everything, you can't lie to yourself or let yourself go. It's a great question. It's kind of a slam, but a good question.
Yeah, what the hell? I read that too, and I was
Gabe.
like, I just don't track. You know what I mean? Like the problem with that is if like every choice is a choice to do or don't, and so you're expecting that the only choice I could make would be to track, but I just don't track, and then it kind of negates that statement. You know what I mean? Like if you just track, yeah, but I can just not. You know what I mean? Like if you're just like tracking is a choice in itself. So if you're struggling already, tracking is something that you're probably not going to want to do, or maybe you aren't doing. And so it's just like it does apply, but it's just easy to work around if you're actually struggling, and because like that thought of like, or that mindset you're in that is like, yeah, I could do well, but I'm I want to do this instead. Because like it's not like when you want to eat bad, it's not like you don't want to in the moment. You know what I mean? Like you're probably telling yourself in the moment like you shouldn't do this, but you're like, oh, but it would feel and taste so good. You know what I mean? Like you just kind of like, you tell that side of you, just shut up. Let me just do this. I want to just do this. And then it's afterwards that you're like, oh crap. So in that moment of like, oh, I really want to do this, you're not thinking about tracking, you know?
Right. Yeah.
I have been at a place where tracking has been like a main source for me and has really helped, but it's just like anything else. That's like, it's a choice you have to make. So.
Yeah. I just love the way you phrase the question. So do you think if you guys tracked, maybe you guys wouldn't be so fat right now? Is basically what he's saying.
Yeah, probably.
Thank you, Gabe. Yeah, you're probably right. Appreciate you. Thanks for writing in. Slammed. Burned us. Boom. Boom roasted. Yeah. You're right. If I didn't, ate so much food, I guess. What can I ask you what you're doing? Can I ask you?
I had
are
a
you
bottle
trying to
cap
frame?
that I was fiddling with. I got major ADD, so I lost my bottle cap. So I replaced it with a popsicle stick, and I don't know what I'm doing.
It's all good. Hey, who cares?
Don't mind me.
Right?
Don't mind me.
No. Hey, man, you do you. We're just recording a podcast. It is on video, but that's fine. You do you. Is that a popsicle stick? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah.
You bent a popsicle stick and you're like making it in the frame of the.
Yeah.
You want it to be like in the top corner. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So next question.
Tony's like, I have a toddler, and this is very toddler-like.
Okay.
Attitude.
Just remember gentle parenting, Tony. Gentle parenting.
Okay, I'm done.
Okay. This is from I have. This Instagram handle's hilarious. This Instagram handle's I have a great ass.
Work
Hey,
it. Work it, girl. I mean, or guy. Or whatever.
Whoa. How dare you? How dare you?
Hey,
Unbelievable.
guys have booties too. Everyone has booties.
Unbelievable.
Everybody's got booties.
I have a great ass. Does posting updates on IG make you feel more accountable or add pressure? Both.
Yeah,
I think both.
definitely both.
At least me personally, I feel better when I'm posting than when I'm not posting. However, because I post, it definitely holds like a holy cow, like all these people are watching. And if I don't follow through with this, there's going to be some rude things said about me, or like people are not like going to lose faith in me, and like I'm going to let people down, which has always been a problem for me. I don't want to ever let anyone down. I want to be the people pleaser. And I think it definitely is a struggle, but I haven't had success in this weight loss journey until I started posting to help keep me accountable. So it's a double-edged sword for me.
Yep.
Miss, I have a great ass, or Mr., I have a great ass. What do you think?
I agree. I think you.
Well, thank you.
Well. I mean, we're an hour and 8 minutes in, so I was like, hey, yeah, we'll just whoop.
Yes. All right. Next question. I also think I'll also touch on something else. I also think it's there's a responsibility we have in posting our struggles as well. So it's like it's easy to post when we lose weight, but what we're doing is we're also posting that we gained weight, which who posts about that, right? Like, but because we have people watching us, it is our responsibility to make sure that we are presenting a realistic and whole view of what a weight loss journey is like. So for me, I definitely feel given even the small platform that I have to provide that authentic, honest journey. That's why I'm freaking on YouTube crying every other week, because it's like it's hard, man. It's a struggle, and I have insecurities that I still deal with. I have mental struggles I still deal with, but because I have people watching and I have people modeling, excuse me, I have people modeling their weight loss journeys over what I'm doing and what you're doing. It's like we have to share the good and the bad. Otherwise, it's like we're going to let people kind of hang them out to dry and think like when they have a struggle or when they gain weight, they're going to feel even worse about themselves because, oh, Danny and Tony never gain weight. They're perfect, you know. But
I mean,
which is
right.
just not true.
We are perfect, but that's not the point.
Yeah, we are perfect.
Tony's perfect. If he wasn't married and I wasn't married,
yeah, don't wink at me like that. Stop it.
it would be so funny if like your wife just popped in on the corner, just like what'd you say, boy?
Don't worry, it's exactly what it looks like. What is the best thing about being thinner? This is from Amy Loses It. Oof. The best thing about being thinner.
Seeing your wiener.
I mean, it's not wrong. It's not wrong. Oh my god. Oh my
Yo,
god.
after this episode, people will be like, "Yo, Danny's gone, man. You gotta kick him off."
Bro. My kids are
to
going to watch this one day. They're going to be like, oh, God. Dad's talking about his wiener again.
No, but like jokes aside, just that is a fact.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. That is a
jokes
fact.
aside, I think it's just realizing how much easier everyday tasks are. Like now that I've lost the weight, forgot what it feels like to be heavier, then to gain the weight back and to be heavy again. Oh boy, it's so. Why am I starting to talk like you? Oh man, it is so much easier. What?
Nothing. Go. You're good.
Yeah, it's. I mean, like literally just going up steps. Oh, that's just something you do, like sitting down and off of the couch. Like just like the most simple things. Like if you work at a job 8 hours where you have to stand on your feet, do it at 300 pounds, then do it at 180 pounds or 200 pounds and come talk to me. You know, it's like you don't know what you got till it's gone.
Wise words. I will give. I agree with you. I'm just going to give a second answer just to add something else to it. Yeah, you're slowly just like going down into the frame. Just a pair of eyeballs talking to us at one point. For me, it's a huge win, and like one of my favorite parts about this whole journey is the shopping. Being able to go into Old Navy the other day and just grab a pair of 38 shorts and grab a 2X shirt and be like, oh, I have an outfit now and it fits. Like being able to shop at Target. It's amazing because like back in the day, I was going to big and tall stores. I was going to XXL stores. I was going to the Burlington Coat Factory because they had a big and tall area that had a lot of stuff. And it was just like, I was just grabbing whatever I could, you know? I mean, there was at one point in my life, I was wearing a 6X shirt and a size 56 pant. I think actually I maybe got up to 62 at Panera because I remember I had to buy 62 suit pants. I think in regular pants it was a 56 and in suit pants it was a 62.
I totally forgot you managed a Panera.
Dude, yeah. I worked there for like 6 years.
And you still
managed
talked all
8
that
Paneras.
Trash. You still talked all that trash.
Bro, because I know the inner workings. I know how actually shitty it is.
That's so funny.
It's so shitty. And the food's like, yeah, it's so shitty. Yeah, man. Like just the ease of life and being able to shop for new clothes at a department store and not have to go to a specialty store is a massive one that I'm still so thankful for. And like I said something on my Instagram story, like, wow, like these are the moments that never get old. Being in a changing room and having clothes that fit. Oh, so good.
Yeah.
This is from...
I can add on to that quickly by just saying, like, I feel pretty confident in my body and myself. I know the weight I'm at, and it's more so about how I feel that ticks me off, rather than like I don't look in the mirror and go like, oh, anymore. I'm just like, hey, what's up? What's up, big boy? You know? But being in a changing room and putting on clothes that you assumed were going to fit for them only not to, or like putting on an old pair of jeans that doesn't fit anymore, bro, there's like nothing worse. Like it sucks.
Yeah.
Like, you go from like feeling good or great to just like F this, man. Like F everything right now. Like I hate this. Why am I here? Like yeah, it's brutal.
Yeah, that's a hard one. That is a hard one, man. This is from this is messed up. GJ's Pizzeria. Hey, you want to try some pizza? Come on down. He's trying to sell us. he asks, do you count macros, and what holds you back from losing more weight? What do you think holds you back from losing more weight? You want to take this one first?
Yeah. So when I'm this heavy, I don't track macros simply because just simple changes and working out more and being more active, I can get really good results. Probably when I get to around like 270 or 250, that's where I'll start tracking, just because I need to be that much more in tune with my intake to reach the results I want to get. um, unless you're a person who eats the same thing every single day, which I am not. Shout out to Tony and shout out to John. Um, I am not at all. So it's important for me to track, just because like it's so hard to know what your intake is if you're constantly eating different foods and like mixing it up. Because when you adjust, like what do you adjust? Like how do you know what to adjust? When you're eating the same things every day, you can, I'll just take a half a cup of carbs away, or I'll take a tablespoon of fat away of what I've been eating for the past month. So it's really easy in that sense. And then you wouldn't have to track. But for me, I do have to track, but I only do it when I get to a lean level that requires it. Because as much as I can avoid the extra work, I will. And as far as what's holding me back, it's just really discipline. It's really what it comes down to. It's just like in those moments, making the good choice rather than the bad one. And I just got to work at that more and want it more.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. I think I'm lucky in that it doesn't bother me in the least bit to eat the exact same thing every day. I eat oatmeal for breakfast. I have a piece of fruit for a snack. I have my protein bar or my protein shake for a snack. I have my chicken and quinoa. Right now I'm in chicken and brown rice and broccoli for lunch and dinner. And that's what I have every single day. No questions. It's just what I have. If I need a little bit of variety, I'll have my Ice Age meals that I'll go to, which are all like healthy and have different macros and stuff and different foods that I'm not, eating on a regular basis. So like that's where my variety comes from, is if my meal preps are out or whatever. So because I eat the same thing every day, I know exactly what I'm eating, but I still track, especially like this last and the popsicles on his head. Okay. And the popsicle stick has made it to his cranium. Right. So yeah, I track, especially this last month, I track everything. And you're probably like, yeah, but you don't track everything. I track everything. In my oatmeal this morning, I tracked the honey that I put in the oatmeal. I made sure it was 21 grams of honey. But it's like at this point, I know what it is, but because I'm trying to lose again, I want to track. At a certain point, when I'm out of a deficit mode and I'm just going into maintenance for a few weeks, because my big mistake in the past was I was just always trying to be in a caloric deficit. What I'm doing now is I'm going to be in a caloric deficit for a number of weeks. I'm going to take a few weeks off of being in a caloric deficit and just maintain for like a month, and then go back into a caloric deficit and then maintain. When I'm in maintenance mode, I'm not going to track, because I know pretty much around the amount of calories that I need to be in, and pretty much like, this is about 6 ounces of chicken. This is about a serving size of peanut butter or whatever. Because I've been so meticulously tracking for so long, I can kind of eyeball those measurements. But while I'm actually actively trying to lose weight and in a deficit, I 100% track every single thing. I weighed out my turkey jerky before this podcast.
Jerkin Turkin?
Nope, not going there.
That's not even what I meant.
No, talking about the jerkin
the other day where
turkin.
she was trying to say like baked bacon. She was like, baked Birkin turkin turkin. And she kept messing it up. It was funny.
Turkin Birkin. Turkey Berkey. This question is from Jesse Powell Fitness.
Ooh,
Any tips on building a healthy relationship with food? Nope.
let us know.
Yeah. Please let us know because we got no freaking idea.
I mean,
I mean, bro, it's so funny. Like, what advice can we give about having a healthy relationship with food? Like, I've already talked to you about how I feel I have like somewhat of an addictive behavior towards food. I have a binge eating disorder. I'm tracking all my food. I don't have cheat meals. I have foods that are absolutely on the X list. Like these are foods I cannot have. So I have no idea what advice to give you when it comes to having a healthy relationship with food because I obviously don't have a healthy relationship with food yet.
Yeah.
I'm
I
hoping
think
to
it's
one
one of
day
those
get
things
there, but
too.
yeah.
I think it's one of those things too that's it's very partial. Like it's very specific person to person. What your healthy version of food may be, maybe someone else's not so healthy version, or vice versa.
Right.
Because I feel like me and Tony, once we get to the place where we're like healthy relationship with food, might be very different because of the way we view things, and the way we eat, for example. So there's some
Yeah.
basic fundamentals that you can kind of implement as far as trying to have a good amount of whole nutritious foods in your diet, trying to minimize extra added sweetness and fats, trying to minimize calories taken in by liquids, and trying to maximize the way you feel when you eat and how you feel about who the person is that you are when you eat, focusing on that mental aspect as far as working to improve it on a regular basis. I think those are all little things that you can do to kind of put yourself in a position to have a healthier relationship with food. But how to have that and what that looks like for you is something that really we can't say, because we're trying to figure that out for ourselves currently. So yeah, that would be my
Yeah.
my basic tips.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely agree. It's a personal experience for sure. Okay, in the interest of everyone's lives, this is going to be our last question because we're an hour and a half into this thing.
Yeah. Let us know.
This
Let
is
us know how
from
long you want these podcasts to be. Like, do people want 45 minutes? Do they want an hour? Do they want 3 hours? Just kidding. We can't do 3 hours.
Let me tell you something, Danny. I'm gonna give them the exact amount of time that we give them. You know what I mean? It's like some episodes I finish and I'm like, oh wow, it was only 40 minutes. Oh well. It's like, I'm just like,
Oh, well.
I'm not going to be like, oh no, Cindy from Instagram said it has to be an hour and 5 minutes. We got to hit it. Nah, man.
Don't let
It's not,
Cindy down.
we're keeping it real.
All right, cool.
We got
Sounds
to
good.
keep
Works
it
for me.
real.
I got no more water.
I'm going to give you what I can give you. Dude, I'm out of water too. My throat's killing me. Okay, we're moving on. Last question from This is Aristo. Tracking macros versus calories for weight loss. I had a few questions like this. I think on YouTube as well, we had a few questions about, like, do you track macros? Do you track calories? What's the difference? What should you do? I'll give you my quick version. I track both because I use my FitnessPal and it does it for me. I'm not sitting there with pen and paper or anything. Like my FitnessPal has got it figured out, in my opinion. Like I have no partnership with them at all. I just like the app a lot and it helps me track my food. I use it literally every single day. And because I have a certain a calorie goal, but it's also very important to me what makes up those calories. And underneath that calorie goal is I want to have a high protein level, a medium carb level, and a low fat level. And that's about where I stay. That's about what my macros are. I have different macros each day a little bit, but for the most part, I eat mainly protein, second carbs, and last fat. But I'm also tracking my calories. So I do both.
For sure. This is how I used to break it down with clients when I was a weight loss coach myself. Beginner, intermediate, advanced. Beginner, people who are just starting out, just have weight loss goals. All they want to do is lose weight. They have really no care for body composition, or maybe they don't even work out. Beginner is where you fall. and that is simply just calories. Just track calories. It'll help you lose weight. It'll help you pay attention to your intake so that you can achieve those weight loss goals. And that's it. Intermediate is for those people who maybe have taken their fitness a step up and have, as well as their weight loss goals, they also have fitness goals as far as maybe you're running, maybe you're working out, maybe you're doing something that requires your body to be used in a more strenuous way. That's intermediate, and that would be adding in protein to that tracking. So now you're just tracking calories and protein. The reason for that is you're not adding a ton more to think about. You're not stressing yourself out, but you're paying now attention to protein, which is going to help with building muscle via protein muscle synthesis, and also just proteins can also just overall help your overall body health goals. And then there's advanced for those that really, really want to like pay attention to their fitness goals. Maybe you're more of an advanced competitor in these places. So maybe you're a bodybuilder, or maybe you're like a marathon runner, and all the things like the amount of carbs you're taking before your runs, or the amount of carbs you're taking before your workouts, all those things start to matter much more, and start to kind of, those little percentages start to add up to something more important that you have or you're striving for. That is where maybe you can add the intermediate level or advanced level in, and where you're tracking your protein, your carbs, your fats, and your calories. I also would add in fiber to intermediate advanced as well, just because it's a good idea to keep track of your fiber as well. But yeah, that's basically how I always look at it. It's like, if you just simply have basic goals that you want to achieve, you don't really care about anything else, calories. If you have more kind of fitness style goals, you want to build muscle at the same time, intermediate. And then if you're like a high level competitor, or you've been doing this for years and you really want to take it to that next step, add the advanced in. Otherwise, it's not super needed, and it's something that you can make easier for yourself by giving yourself less to think about and worry about.
Yeah, I like that. I love that. That was great.
I do calories and protein myself. Unless I'm like really killing it in the gym and I'm like, you know what, I want to like, but I've been doing this long enough where like I kind of always have like a constant, like almost tracker in my brain of like what I'm eating throughout the day and how much of what was in it. Is it super accurate? No, but it's close enough where I kind of have a good idea of like, okay, before I work out, I'll have this amount of carbs then, and blah, blah, blah. So the more experienced you get, you know, you can kind of go any way, which way you want to, but yeah.
Yeah, I think even when I'm in maintenance mode, I'm always going to be making sure I'm eating enough protein. Mm-hmm. I feel like protein is definitely my focus as well, for sure. All right, that's the episode. We did it. We made it. I wanted to talk quickly about just to wrap this up with our Familia members, because let's face it, this is an hour and a half. This might be the longest Focus Fight Finish podcast episode ever. And if you've made it this far, damn it, you are a part of the Familia. And the Familia are the real ones. They are the freaking mi gente. They are my people. Your people. You know, we're all a big support system. And so I wanted to tell you guys that I am reading a new book, which is just like blowing my mind. It's not a new book. It's a very old book that I am just now starting, called Man's Search for Meaning, Viktor Frankl. If you've never read it, it's incredible. I'm halfway through and I cannot wait to finish it. It is coming from his perspective, how he found meaning in even the darkest place, as he suffered and went through life in a concentration camp. Whoa. And he still found a meaning for life, even in the darkest, most evilest place ever, a concentration camp. He still found meaning for life. So it's an incredible book. I am pulling all kinds of pearls from this book. Cannot recommend it enough. And so there was just a quote that he was talking about. It was Nietzsche and him. He was kind of referencing Nietzsche. Friedrich Nietzsche is another philosopher, psychiatrist, I think. Anyway, there was a quote that was like, when a man knows his why, there's almost no amount that he can't endure to get through the how. So like when you know your why, you can do anything to get through the how. So how you're going through about life, as long as you know your why, you can do anything. And like he talks about that especially in reference to a concentration camp. I mean, this book is intense, and so it's not a light read for sure. It's very intense, but I just think the importance of finding that why and being able to endure is something that I have always fallen back on, and something that, I have a very solid foundation in, and that is what has helped me and helped me maintain my discipline and helped me maintain this journey, was my why, which, kind of started like, oh, I'm doing this for my kids. But then it kind of grew into more of, I'm doing this to find the absolute best version of myself. I want to be the best version of myself because I want that for myself, but also I want my kids to see me in the pursuit of the best version of myself. And so that is my why. And so for you, I would love to know your whys and what is going to help get you through, what is going to help you get you through all the hows, and how are you going to endure. So that is the familiar phrase. How will you endure? And then tell me how it is, how you will endure. Tell me your why, and let me know about it, and we'll talk about it on the next episode. Danny, thank you so much, dude. This was great. This was great. We talked for a long time.
Yeah, man.
How's that popsicle stick? It's beautiful. Beautiful. Oh, wow. It's compact. Oh, it has been separated. Okay. Hey, thank you so much, man. And we'll check in with you next month.
I am 10 years old.
Oh, the one thing we didn't talk about that we're going to announce it here at the end. This is just for the familiar members. Danny and I are starting a podcast together. Now, obviously, that podcast is going to be called the Fatty Daddy Podcast. And we're starting it as soon as I get into Texas and I get settled and my life gets a little less discombobulated. We will start the Fatty Daddy Podcast together, and that is what the people have spoken. They love us. They love us.
Hey, it's you. They love you.
No, I don't think that. I think it's you.
No, you're wrong.
No, it's you. Okay,
it's you.
In the comments, who is it? Is it me or is it Danny? It's you. Listen, I'm very excited, dude. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this all the time. It's gonna be these weekly check-ins. These monthly check-ins are gonna just be their own podcast. Fatty Daddy Podcast. Oh my God. Okay. See you next week. Bye.